Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Under the Radar, a place where we discuss your favorite basketball players and hoopers inside and outside the NBA. Today's story is about Desmond Bane. Why are we talking about Desmond Bane? Now, ladies and gentlemen, Desmond Bane has been an amazing, important cornerstone or piece for the hungry Memphis Grizzlies. Now, the question that we must answer in today's video is, how did Desmond go from a bench warmer to an NBA starter? Let's roll the clock a bit. Desmond Michael Bane was born on June 25, 1998 in Richmond, Indiana. Sadly, ladies and gentlemen, unlike all the other stories that I've previously covered in this channel, Desmond's story by far is one of the most depressing stories that I've ever had to read. But don't worry, things get better for him. After Desmond was born, Desmond's mother, Marissa, who was 18 or 19 years old at the time when Desmond was just a young boy, along with his sisters. Sadly, his mother, Marissa, couldn't sustain Desmond and his sisters' living costs. Unfortunately, this drove Desmond and his family to go from place to place just to get by. This is what Desmond had to say about his mother. She was only 18 or 19 at the time, so she was still inexperienced as a mother. So I was moving around from house to house, and I guess when I was 2, my great-grandma and my great-grandpa said, "That's enough, you are not moving anymore. He is going to stay with us, and that's it." So, Desmond and his sisters ended up moving in with his great-grandparents who raised them in Richmond, Indiana for the rest of their childhoods. Sadly, ladies and gentlemen, Desmond apparently did not know who his father was until the age of 13. Apparently, when Bane discovered his dad, Ethino Ekeko, apparently fled to Africa soon after he was born. Now that is just very depressing to hear. And another thing, apparently, Desmond would only see his mother during holidays. And ladies and gentlemen, you would think that this lack of parenting presence probably would have severely affected Desmond. But Desmond persevered and kept his head up and had a positive attitude towards life. Now that, ladies and gentlemen, is unbelievable. After all, Desmond still has his great-grandparents. Looking at the bright side in this situation, ladies and gentlemen, is that Desmond now has parents that will always be by his side at all times, and a mom that's on speed dial. This is Desmond's thoughts on recalling this situation. Desmond said, "It was a blessing in disguise. Every kid wants to come home to their mom and to their dad and be able to say things with their parents, but I wouldn't have it any other way. I've been blessed in the situation I'm in." Desmond would also find a great bond between him and his great-grandfather, Bob. His great-grandfather said it was more like a father-son relationship, just teaching the basics, whatever came up, and encouraged him in everything he did. And he had a natural ability as an athlete. He hit a baseball out of sight when he was just a kid. Man, I was just about to cry, ladies and gentlemen. The family and the people that are around Desmond is just beautiful, but we have to get back to basketball. Growing up, Desmond would actually find more success in baseball than in basketball, but preferred basketball in the later years of his life. Bane would focus on baseball until the 8th grade, where his great-grandfather was coaching at the youth level, and he would also play football and soccer. Bane played basketball for Seton Catholic High School, a small private school in Richmond, Indiana. He was drawn to the school because it appointed Josh Jurgens, who coached him in the 3rd grade, as the high school basketball head coach during his 8th grade season. As a senior in high school, Bane would average a state high of 30 points, 11.5 rebounds, 6.1 assists, and 3.2 blocks per game. He would score an amazing 62 points and 9 three-pointers in a win over Lincoln Senior High School. Bane was named MVP of the Wittig Memorial Holiday Tournament, as he would score 1,991 points over his 4-year high school career, surpassing 1988 Indiana Mr. Basketball winner Woody Austin for most in Wayne County history. Sadly, ladies and gentlemen, he did not receive a single NCAA Division I offer until his senior season, when Furman actually offered him at the end of November in the early signing period. And on May 12, 2016, Bane committed to play college basketball for TCU, which is basically Texas Christian University. Sadly, he was not rated or ranked in any major recruiting services according to both 24/7 Sports, ESPN, and Rivals. Desmond would actually earn Big 12 Newcomer of the Week honors after scoring 18 points and pulling down 7 rebounds against Bradley, and he would actually have 16 points including 3 clutch free throws and just 2 seconds remaining to help TCU defeat Kansas in an 85-82 victory in the quarterfinals of the Phillips 66 Big 12 Championship, and he would also lead and help TCU to win the NIT as just a freshman, contributing 9 points in the title game against Georgia Tech. And he would average 7.1 points, 2.9 rebounds, and making 13 starts as a freshman. And his season high was actually 27 points in a victory over Iowa State. As a sophomore, Bane would average 12.5 points and 4.1 rebounds per game, shooting an unbelievable 47.2% from downtown, leading the Big 12 in three-point percentage. In the NCAA March Madness tournament, Bane would have 5 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and a steal and a block in their first-round exit against Syracuse. As a junior, Bane was actually named second team All Big 12, and he would have a career high of 34 points in their regular season finale against Texas, and he would score 30 points against Nebraska in the second round of the NIT. Bane would actually average 15.2 points per game to lead the team with 5.7 rebounds per game and shoot an unbelievable 42% from behind the arc. After the season, he tested the waters of the NBA draft, but he actually decided to return to TCU for his senior season. As a senior for TCU, Bane would actually be named to the first team All Big 12 while he averaged 16.6 points and 6.3 rebounds per game, shooting an unbelievable 44.2% from downtown, leading the Big 12 in three-point percentage. And on March 2, 2020, Bane was actually named Big 12 Player of the Week after scoring 23 points in an upset over Baylor. And Desmond's performance would actually make him selected in the first round of the 2020 NBA draft, where he was selected by the Boston Celtics. And he actually became the first TCU player to be picked in the first round since 1995. Bane was subsequently traded to the Memphis Grizzlies, and on November 25, 2020, the Memphis Grizzlies announced that they've signed Mr. Desmond Bane here. Bane was actually selected to the All-Rookie second team after his rookie season of averages of 9.2 points, 1.7 assists, and 3.1 rebounds, shooting an amazing 43.2% from downtown, making himself one of the best shooters in the NBA. He actually had the highest three-point field goal percentage in a rookie season since Steph Curry with a minimum of 150 attempts. And he's also the all-time leader in three-point field goal percentage in franchise history as a rookie. And on December 5, 2021, he would score his career high of 29 points and 9 rebounds in a victory over the Dallas Mavericks. This season, Desmond has been huge for the Memphis Grizzlies with sophomore averages of 17.9 points, 2.7 assists, 4.5 rebounds, and 41% from downtown. And not only that, ladies and gentlemen, he pretty much secured himself as the second option on the team and pretty much secured himself as the starting shooting guard for the Grizzlies, while helping Ja and Jaren take the Grizzlies from an afterthought team to a contender. Bane's scoring and defensive presence helped the Grizzlies become one of the best teams in the West and one of the best teams in the NBA, as the second seed in the Western Conference, just below the Phoenix Suns with a record of 50-23 as of the recording of this video. Literally a while ago, Desmond scored 23 points as the Grizzlies take down Kyrie and the Brooklyn Nets without Ja Morant. Unbelievable. While also breaking the franchise record for most threes made in a season, simply just incredible. This, ladies and gentlemen, is just basically proving to the rest of the NBA, and he's literally telling the rest of the NBA, if you're not playing with Bane, he will cause you pain. And Desmond contributes on both sides of the game, not only because of his scoring ability from downtown, his interior game, and his way of finding teammates is just amazing, but his strength and his energy is just very infectious, which basically affects the rest of the team because of his leadership. And on the defensive end, where he's just really underrated because his wingspan is actually smaller than his actual height of 6'4", and the dude is 6'6". But his muscles in his arms are huge, and you can see where the power is really coming from. And he's taking tough matchups like Kyrie Irving, and if you look into Desmond's game, he doesn't need length like many players in the league right now, like Jimmy Butler. Not saying he's just as good as Jimmy, but the style and approach to the game is quite similar, because Desmond relies on his shot creation and his basketball IQ or intelligence. and Desmond is really giving Memphis and his teammates motivation as a leader on and off the floor. Hence the chemistry is amazing and making them win games against tough opponents like the Nets. And ladies and gentlemen, I hope this video answered your questions about Desmond Bane and the story of Mr. Desmond Bane. I hope you all enjoyed today's video. Hit that like button and make it turn blue. And hit that red subscribe button to join this amazing basketball family. New basketball videos every single Friday. I don't want y'all to miss it. God bless, stay safe, enjoy your weekend, goodbye.